Greetings, my name is Diane Elms. I'm a homeopath in Ontario, Canada, and I have focused my studies on drugless cancer care. And I have come to the conclusion, as sad as it is, and it is of my opinion that cancer is an industry. Through my frustration with the healthcare system and stupid rules and regulations, actually rules and regulations that I have found, people are dying of cancer because of rules and regulations. Statistics now state that 1 in 2 will get cancer. 1 in 2. More and more money is being poured into cancer research, and yet the numbers are still rising. When in fact, there are tests in place that could be used for prevention. How do I know this? I've seen this in my clinical practice, but right now, Cancer Care Ontario is blocking the use of blood tests that could be used for prevention. I will get into more details, but I realize I only have a few seconds to get your attention. The fact is, I run up against this roadblock over and over again, and this prevents my patients from getting the best care possible. And as far as I'm concerned, it is all about the pharmaceutical companies running our healthcare system in Ontario. How do I know this? I've discussed my concerns with our healthcare system to several members of Parliament, both provincially and federally, all of which have said to me, for every politician, there are at least 4 lobbyists from the pharmaceutical companies. Think about that. As well, I have contacted a provincial leader's office about this matter, only to be told I need to do what everybody else does. Rent a room. If I want to bring my concerns up to anybody, rent a room at Parliament around supper time, invite the members to come and attend and schmooze them. That's how it's done. And if I want to get anything changed, I need to go by those rules. Does that sound like that's right? Who has money to schmooze the politicians? Not me, but I do know who. I do know what kind of companies have that kind of money. Pharmaceutical companies do. If you can honestly sit or stand and listen to me and say, oh well, that's just the way it is, what can I do about it? I pray that some injustice rises up in you, and that you get mad. You take a stand. People are dying to line the pockets of many people with money. Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. In Ontario, we pay for our healthcare system with our taxes. We deserve to and should be demanding changes occur. I'm going to put a petition together to have the following changes addressed and changed. The Cancer Act should be removed from law. And if you didn't know it, there was a law in place and has been in place since the 1930s that states if you come up with a remedy, so that's something natural, that can cure or prevent cancer, the government can acquire it, purchase it, or have an assignment, or otherwise, the word otherwise always scares me, the rights, and they can sell or dispose of it. Why is this law necessary? Is the objective if our objective in our healthcare system is to find a cure or prevention of cancer, why should this law be in place? Does the government go buy or acquire any rights from pharmaceutical companies or use otherwise means to get those pharmaceutical medicine? No, this act is totally wrong. The Cancer Care Ontario has also deemed, so you have to understand, the Cancer Care Ontario is a foundation that gets all the money that is deemed to go towards cancer care in our healthcare system. So they have deemed that the CEA marker cannot be used for prevention, and doctors are limited to using it. Why? It works well. I've seen it in my clinical practice. Yet this marker can be used by oncologists. So here's what happens. If you have cancer, and you're doing chemotherapy, your oncologist can order a CEA marker, and they can actually monitor your CEA marker coming down. So if they can see that your number's coming down, why can't it be used for prevention? So here's my tipping point of why I'm making this video today. A patient called me and said that they had heard on CBC, a program about a new blood test just last week for screening for prevention of cancer. I searched the CBC website and couldn't find anything about the broadcast, so I called them. And so the lady told me that I spoke to, which was, I was very grateful for the information. She said that it was a news release so that they didn't archive that. But she did tell me the name of the researcher and that the project was actually called Cancer Seek. Now, what they're claiming is this blood test can see blood proteins that are in our body that when cancer is present. So can the CEA marker. And that this basic test, the Cancer Seek test, is for 8 cancers. Basically the same 8 cancers the CEA marker tests for. Now this research is being done in the US, and I know that they can also do the CEA marker in the US. This particular testing, or looking towards this new blood test, has been granted over $1 billion to continue the research of this test. If you go look on the Canadian Cancer Society's website, they actually tell you that the CEA marker is useful in detecting the same 8 cancers. This is the same CEA marker that is blocked by Cancer Care Ontario to be used for prevention. It's just wrong. The CEA marker is what I have been asking my patients to get done, and I can't order blood tests. They have to go to their family physician or oncologist to get it done. And the majority of my patients, more than 90% of my patients, cannot get this done. Even patients that have had cancer but have chosen not to do chemo, if they're going through their family physician, they cannot get this test ordered. It's sad. Some people say to me, so go to the press, tell the radio stations. People need to hear this. I know that. That's why I'm making this video again. I've been to the Spectator. So I live outside of the Hamilton area, just shy of outside of the Hamilton area. The Spectator has done many articles on cancer, the numbers of cancer, people are getting cancer, the money put and spent in cancer. Well, I called all of those reporters and tried to tell them some of the information I know. Nobody was interested. Nobody wants to do an article on doing things natural, or the Cancer Act, or the CEA marker. I even talked to the CBC about it. Well, you're willing to do an article and a broadcast about a test done in the US. Why aren't you going to talk about the CEA marker in Canada? Oh no, they didn't want to do it. I've talked to people that have interviewed me about other aspects or other things I've been involved in throughout my life. I contacted every one of them. Nobody will put this information out there. I even wrote for a newspaper, a small local newspaper. Well, it wasn't small. It actually went to over 35,000 readers. I wrote for them about, different health issues. And then when I started writing about complementary health and homeopathic medicine and complementary health and cancer care, I was told I couldn't write about those kinds of topics because I was too controversial. Nobody is willing to put the information out there. They won't tell the truth. The truth is not being told to you. Why? You can come to your own conclusion. My last point that I want to make today is I need you to go to the Phoenix Rising Center's website. And center is spelled CENTER.ca. And sign up to our newsletter or blog. I'm going to be putting a petition together. The only way change can happen is if there is enough people willing to stand up and say, I no longer allow you to stop me from having a blood test for prevention. I no longer allow you to control my health. I will not be a statistic and be one of those 2 to get cancer. Change can occur if we all stand up together. Our family members are dying, our children and grandchildren. We have the right to make this change. It's your life.